Hey everybody, it's a nice cold crisp day here in southeast Texas. Today we're going to be hiking part of the Lone Star Trail. It's called the Richards Loop. It's a great day, there's hardly a cloud in the sky, it's 28 degrees. We're going to have a great time today, it's going to be a fun hike. It's going to be about 7 miles. We're going to try to cook some lunch on the way around the trail today. So stick with me. We'll get started in just a bit. Well, we've come to the fork in the road. To the left is the Lone Star Trail. To the right is the Little Lake Creek Loop Trail. The Lone Star Hiking Trail. And this way is the Little Lake Creek Loop Trail. And for the first part, we're going to be following the yellow blazes with a red stripe, indicating that it's actually it's an orange going to the right. And on our way back, we'll be following the white blazes, which is for the Lone Star Trail. All the Lone Star Trail and the loop trails, this is called the Richards Loop. We're going to be going down this trail about 3.5 miles. We're going to take a left and we're going to be coming back up the Lone Star Trail. So all these trails are very well marked, very well traveled. It's an absolute gorgeous day today. The sun is out, it's 28 degrees, a very slight wind. The wind chill's around 20, 25. Beautiful crisp day. And if we stop, and I stop talking, and you listen, you can't hear anything. It's just nice and quiet. So we started out about 9:30 today. Should take most of the day to do this trail. It's supposed to take about 3.5 hours. I'm going to be doing some filming and other things, so it'll probably take all day for me. We're going to be using a mapping program here on my iPhone 6 Plus. This is called Maprika, and I've loaded the LSHT Section 1 Wilderness, and you can see with the little blue dot flashing right there, that's where I am on the trail. This is really a great little program. Let you put it on your iPhone and see where you are on the trail. And you can see we'll be headed down this area right here, all the way down here. Then we're going to take the West Fork Trail here across to the Lone Star Trail, and then we're going to cut back all the way back to where we started. So actually we're making pretty good time. I just wanted to stop and show you guys this neat little gadget from Gadgets Gear, what we've got going here. So it's pretty cool. The drought that we had a couple of years ago really had a pretty bad effect on all the trees in the greater Houston area, especially in the National Forest. Big swaths of trees that have succumbed to the drought. This year, 2014-15, has been a pretty wet year. So this has been really good for the forest. And what they do, they have sections here that they do controlled burns. I'm supposing to weed out some of the brushy undergrowth. And then they'll go in and they'll log some of the big pine trees. And they have sections designated on the map that they go in and they do, and they're sectioned by number and shows what year they're going to do that. And some of these sections are pretty large, and they'll section off a good part of it, and they want you to stay out because they're doing some logging. And logging's good. It gets rid of, pull out some of the older trees, opens up the forest to get a little bit more light down in the forest bottom. That's just what I think. I'm no expert. But this particular forest, the same Houston National Forest, it's a piney woods forest, and you might be able to tell from where I am, just big old pine trees. Really, really pretty. This gets very thick in the summertime. Right now, vegetation is way back. Some of the trees, deciduous, oaks, leaves are all fallen off, so that really opens up the forest. And of course a lot of the vegetation is cut back, so you can see quite a long ways in the forest. But the trails here are well maintained. I don't know that they actually do any cutting along the Lone Star hiking trail or thinning out. This is pretty much left to the way it is naturally. And I'm assuming that. I'm pretty sure that's the way it is. What a great morning. During the winter months, September through, I believe it's February, you can only camp in designated spots because they allow deer hunting season. So a lot of these areas actually pretty nice for camping. It's pretty open. Plenty of firewood. But only designated sites. There's not any that I know of along this trail. We are going to stop today and cook some lunch with the little Transia stove that I have brought with me. We're going to have some chili mac and some coffee. Just wanted to show you, this is a logging trail of sorts. I came across it. This is our trail. And if we pan around this way, you can see that this is some kind of a logging trail. I'll set the camera down here and I'll show you. This little app that I've got is actually pretty good. If you look where we are, we're right here. And that's pretty much showing that we're right on that trail. So the Maprika app is doing an excellent job of showing exactly where we are on the trail. Just came across this pond. It is on the map. I really didn't expect to see a pond. It's an unexpected surprise for me. It's on the map as a pond, but didn't really expect to see a pond, just kind of a mud flat. So that's an interesting feature out here. Well, according to the map, we've only gone 1 mile, and we've done that in about an hour and 20 minutes. So all this stopping and filming, it's kind of taken a toll on the mileage factor. So at that rate, we won't get through by dark. So we better pick up the pace a little bit, put the camera away and do some hiking. And when I get to the lunch stop, well, I will turn this thing back on and check that out. So until a little bit later, we'll get back to you. Just walking along the trail and I see a lot of these berries. And I think these are beauty berries. Obviously without the leaves, it's winter time. That's what they look like to me. You can actually eat these according to Ken Cram. Kenneth. Check out his website. Awesome website. But he has a video on there where he cooks out in the wild and picks some of the beauty berries along with a little chicken dinner. Obviously the chicken was carried in. But that's what they look like in the wintertime, if that's indeed what they are. Okay, well, we're going to get some lunch going on here. Let's see if I can get this. See if I can get the stove going. a little bit. Tried to do a windbreak, but the wind is kind of changing directions. Now it's coming from the front, so best made plans are not always the best. Well, it'd be time to eat, so let's see what we got going on. Getting a little chillier out here. Chilly to eat the chili. Let's see what we got going on here. Well, looks like it's about done. See how this tastes. Pretty darn good. Not bad at all. Nice hot meal on a cold day. Very, very good. Meat seems to be a little chewy, but you know, it ain't good chili unless you gotta chew a lot. Pretty okay. Yep. That'll work just fine. We've got some Folgers coffee here going on. Let's see if I can burn my lips. That are hot. Gonna have to let that cool down. Alright, well, we're gonna finish eating and hit the trail again, and we'll come back after we finish putting this away. Pretty darn good. Just thought I'd show you guys my little windbreak that I hooked up. It's not really a big deal. Maybe thought you'd be interested. It's one of those reflective tarps with red on one side and foil on the other. I simply tied it up with some paracord to a tree. I used some other cord for a little prusik knot, and used one of these Inez 9 carabiners on each of them, on each end, just to hold it. So that's pretty much what I did with the windbreak, and the windbreak didn't do very good because the wind shifted around. So I moved some logs around to keep my fire from being blown, and you can see by this, as the wind's shifted around, it's blowing from this direction now. So that really didn't do a whole lot of good. Well, ready to go. Pretty much left everything as I found it. It was somebody's campsite before, but that's pretty much going to be it. I'm going to grab my coffee, drink that on the way. I think we're about ready to head out. Well, here we are at the trail fork. To the left is the West Fork Trail heading us back to Lone Star Hiking Trail. If we continue on down this way, that's the Little Lake Creek loop that we've been on for the last few hours. And this is the West Fork Trail. This will take us over to the Lone Star Hiking Trail parking lot number 2, and then on up the road a little bit to where we parked our car, and that comprises the Richards Loop. And you can see here, you can't actually see it, but that's a blue blaze. It almost looks black. Anyway, we're on the right trail. This will take us on over to Lone Star Hiking Trail and on up to the car. And we've come to another fork in the road. We're now on the Lone Star Hiking Trail. We're going to go to parking lot number 1, which is where I started this morning. It's 3.2 miles. And by the way, now we're looking at white blazes. Oh, for a second there I thought I had to go down there. Boy, that would have been a bummer. But the trail is right here. And as we come up over this rise, we see a pond. Pond number 2, and this is on the Lone Star Trail. Plenty of water there. It looks safe to filter and drink. Looks pretty deep. Looks like there's some good camping areas here. There's a camping area down here, and looks like it's well traveled over in this area here. But plenty of places down there. Very nice. Glad I stopped to film this. That's really good. It's kind of a nice little place to come do an overnighter. Not a far walk. I think we're about 2 miles out from the parking lot. So this would be nice, just to come and, like a one-nighter, maybe a one-nighter with a walk back the other way that I just came from the little Lake Creek. Well, I just thought I'd let you know where I was, right here where the blue dot is, and we're on that same road we crossed a little bit back. It looks like 203, and this is looking north, and the trail crosses here. It's going this way. Not sure if I mentioned this before, but the Lone Star Trail is marked with these mile markers. This is mile 2. I'm looking south, and these are red blazes. They're older blazes for the mile markers. You can see the number 2 on that. You might see one of these where it says M, the number of miles, and you see it on both sides of the tree. These are the older markers, I'm assuming. And they're still around, but when they drop off, you'll be looking for one of these. Only 1 more mile to go back to the car. Cool deal. And look at there. Home again, home again. Totally awesome. Back at square one. What a deal. Well, I'm glad you guys could join me. That was about a 7-mile hike. It took about 6 hours. I did stop for lunch. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and will subscribe to my channel. That's Gadgets Gear. Until next time, good hiking.